I'm Mike Sullivan. You know, I think so many golfers really understand that they're supposed to turn their hips and shoulders through the golf swing. They're supposed to be turning through impact, and they're supposed to be swinging their arms in the club head. But so many people, even though they know they should be making that turn, boy, they make contact with almost all hands and arms. So today I'm going to show you a little drill that you can do around the house to help you get the feel for the correct turn through impact as opposed to just throwing those arms at the ball. Okay, so as mentioned earlier, I think we all know, and everyone, not everyone knows this, but if you've been working on your golf game a little bit, you've come to the realization that we really do need to, especially if you've been watching these videos, we need to turn through our golf shot or our golf swing. So what that means is as we start our backswing, my shoulders kind of initiate this backswing, hips follow. Then on the downswing, the hips start, the shoulders follow, and there's turning through. So in our setup, we may set up looking kind of like this, but our impact position will be turning through more like so. However, when we look at so many golf swings on video, so many students, and if you've watched your own video, you have seen this impact position where you're coming through this way, where your hips at setup are here, and at impact are kind of the same way, or barely turning through, because your golf swing is made up a lot of lifting of the arms and then coming through impact using the arms as well. So great, we talked about that. Great, we know that. Why is it we can make a practice swing? And look, the dog just went back there. Cookie, you can't be there, girl. Come on, get up. Go on, over there. Go on, Cookie. I'm going to keep rolling here. So your practice swing is one thing. Turn back, turn through. But when we hit a shot, we get some of this again. And I could feel through impact a little scoop happening here. So when we're swinging, when we're swinging the golf club and we're hitting shots and it's dominated by our arms, we're going to have all kinds of problems. We're going to have a swing path that comes out to in, which is going to cause pulls and slices. We're going to have a lot of times an impact position where the club head passes our hands and we hit fat shots and we hit thin shots. And so the general problem that we've got is we've got slices, we have thin shots and fat shots, inconsistent contact. And we're hitting, when we do hit a good shot, we don't take much of a divot. It's that high, lofty type of a shot, and we're not hitting the ball as far as we want to. And that's really a problem that's very, very common. So here's what we want to do. Number one, you've got to have good posture. If you've got bad posture and you set up to the ball like this, you're not really incentivizing yourself to make a good turn. You're not making it easy to make a good turn. So back up a little bit. Insist on good posture. It takes no skill to have good posture. It just takes attention to detail and some practice. So take your golf club, do this somewhere where there's a mirror around. I've got a monitor right here. Put that club behind your back. So the club's resting on the back of my head as well as on my tailbone. Soften your knees and bend from the hips. You may feel a little bit of tightness in your hamstrings. So there is a little bit of flexibility that's involved in doing this, but do not just cop out and say to yourself, oh, I can't get good posture because I'm not flexible, like that guy Mike on TV or whatever on YouTube, because I'm not super flexible either, but I've worked on this and practiced it. So it takes a little bit of practice to be able to get that good setup. But give it a real good try before you quit on it, okay? Really do the best you can to have a neutral spine angle where you're bending a little bit from the knees and the rest is all from the hips. Before you hit, you can let your head come down a little bit, all right? The better job that you do of getting your rear end behind you and your hips tilted a little bit, the better job you can do that, the better you're going to be able to physically make a turn. So please work on that. Okay? All right, now to the drill. So when the ball is there and we're trying to actually hit a ball, we're trying to make contact, we're trying to perform, a lot of times our habits just won't let us do something that's new. So we want to learn the feel of turning through. So here's the trick. I want you to set up with the club in your hands, separated like this is just great, so it's like a hockey grip almost, like on a hockey stick, okay, right? And right now, the shaft of the club is parallel to my hip line. So this would not be parallel, that would not be parallel, this is parallel, okay? I'm gonna just turn back a little bit and try to keep that shaft parallel to my hips. So I'm going to get that club going back, keeping it parallel. So I'm not going to do this, right? I'm going to keep it parallel back. I'm going to slowly turn through and then get to the point where my club head is right on top of the ball. And now I'm in a more realistic, a good impact position. So I'm going to change my angle here for you, right? So there's my ball, right? I'll get right in the middle of the frame here for you. So here's my ball, right? Turn back, turn through, and by the time, look, my club head is way, way back here. I got to get the club to the ball that way. So I'm learning a little bit about turning my hips through as I'm going to make contact with the balls. I'm going to make impact. This may be the first time you've ever got a sense of, wow, look at how much weight's on my front foot and how much my hips have turned through when I get to impact to hitting that shot. So I want you to practice this for 5 minutes, just like this. Super boring, I know. Pay attention though. Don't do this. Okay? So you can see, look, watch. Parallel. Then we stop turning, the hands keep going. That's the way you're probably swinging the club. We probably have people hitting shots like this. See, I get a full, I feel like I've gotten all the way through it, but I haven't really gotten weight on my front side. I haven't really made a good rotation on that downswing. So keep the shaft parallel to the hips on this drill. So after you've done this for 5 minutes, a few sessions, now change it a little bit to make it a little bit more like golf. So we're going to set up, but we're going to bend from the hips, right? And now when we start the backswing, we're going to feel like the shoulders start the backswing. So I'm not keeping, right now this thing is not quite parallel to my hips. Shoulders and hips, and then on the downswing it's going to be hips, hips, then shoulders. So now this is starting to feel more like a golf swing. When they say, keep that side bend if you're watching other YouTube videos or reading articles. That's what they're talking about. They're talking, hold on. They're talking about turning back here. Someone just walked in. And turning through, keeping that side bend as we go through our golf shot, okay? Practice it like this. Turn back, start with the hips, keep it parallel, turn through. And from there, go ahead and hit some golf shots. Now, when you first start hitting shots, it's not going to be natural. You may not hit it well, okay? That's all right. It's awkward, but feel those hips turning through because that's showing you some rotation. That's going to be a more efficient golf swing. The club will swing from the inside of the target line out onto the target line all the time. You won't do this stuff if you're starting the downswing and completing that downswing with your hips. Boy, I hope you find that helpful. This is a great little drill to do because it actually gives you the feel of making a correct downswing. It's not just something you look at and try to do when you're playing golf. You'll actually be making the correct move in practice, so you'll learn it, it'll become habit, and you should be able to play better.